BJJ for breakfast.
What's up, everybody? Coach Nate here. I'm here with tip 3 of my 10 tips to get good at Jiu-Jitsu. Okay, so the first 2 were being consistent, focusing on fundamentals. Okay, tip 3 is staying humble. Okay, staying humble in Jiu-Jitsu is very, very important. This will help you speed up your learning process so quick. Okay, so what do I mean by staying humble? In jiu-jitsu, having an ego is important because it pushes us to improve and to do better and to win in the training room and in competition. And that's great. But having too much of an ego, okay, a toxic ego, if you will hold you back ultimately. All right. A lot of jiu-jitsu, success in jiu-jitsu is learning to get outside of your comfort zone. Okay. That's a big, big part of it. And that means you've got to be willing to lose so that you can learn. Okay, you've got to be willing to lose so that you can get better, or actually kind of get worse so you can get better, right? It's kind of counterintuitive, but that's really how it works. When you get to late blue belt, kind of early purple belt, most people start developing a game, a jiu-jitsu game, meaning moves and positions that they're good at, that they excel at, that are safe for them, that they know they'll be able to hit. Okay, and as that happens, we start getting pigeonholed in certain moves and positions, and we start avoid taking risks, trying other techniques that maybe aren't in our wheelhouse because we don't want to fail. We don't want to have our guard pass. We don't want to get submitted. Okay, we don't want to get taken down. And ultimately, you may win that one sparring match, but ultimately it's going to stifle your growth and stifle your improvement because you're not going to be adding new tools and new positions and new moves into your arsenal. Okay, so from my personal experience, when I first started doing jiu-jitsu, it was very MMA based, and I mostly just used a closed guard on the ground, and then if I didn't have the person in closed guard, I just wrestled up and basically turned it into an MMA fight. Okay, when I transitioned from MMA based jiu-jitsu to gi jiu-jitsu, though, I started encountering all the crazy open guards that people use, spider guard, lasso guard, worm guard. And at first, I didn't really want to try any of those because when I would try them, people would just blow past my guard and put me in side control. And I didn't like that, right? I knew if I kept them in closed guard, I could attack. And worst case scenario, they couldn't pass my closed guard. So I wouldn't necessarily, lose the match, but I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't trying any of the cool new moves or anything. So I made a conscious effort, a decision in my own head that I was just for like 6 months not going to do any close guard on anybody. I just stopped doing it. I wouldn't let myself do it. And yes, initially it was frustrating because people that I knew I was better than, that I could beat if I just used my closed guard, were getting the better of me. But after maybe just a few weeks, my open guard game started improving. My daily Hiva guard, my spider guard, I started linking those together. And before I knew it, I started enjoying open guard way more than closed guard. It was just a much more dynamic style of guard play, a lot funner to play, and I could switch back and forth. I still, if I'm going against someone I know who has a crazy fast outside passing style, or maybe I know they're really strong for the first minute or two, but then they're going to gas out, I'll still use my closed guard, right? I'll try to shut them down. I'll slow them down. If they're very dynamic in their passing, I'll slap that closed guard on them and just squeeze them and break their posture and just really tire them out. Or if they're very strong and I know if this person puts me in side control, they're going to just smash the life out of me. Again, I'll put them in the closed guard and I'll just cook them and I'll just work them and make them work and burn all their gas trying to get out of my closed guard. But if I don't feel like that, if I feel like, hey, I'm going to be able to hit sweeps on this guy, I know that they're susceptible to daily Hiva or they're susceptible to spider guard, then I have that to fall back on. And also in the occasion where someone is able to pop open my closed guard and starts passing, I have these other open guards now to rely on, to fall back on. You open my guard, cool, I'm going to hit you with a daily Hiva. You pass that, cool, I'm going to go to spider. Whatever, right? But moral of the story is the short-term discomfort of losing in the gym was far outweighed by the improvement I saw by opening up my game and adding all these new tools, okay? And if I had just listened to my ego, I can't let these people beat me in the practice room, right? If I had just been that guy, I never would have added all these extra tools to my arsenal, okay? So a big part of jiu-jitsu is learning to control your ego. Not necessarily to kill it entirely. Like I said, you need a little bit of ego, because why else are we here? Why else are we learning to fight and defend ourselves, right? Because we want to be good at something, because we want to be able to defend ourselves, because we want to be able to defend our friends and our family and our loved ones. That's a little bit of your ego there, right? You want to be that guy that can defend himself and take care of the people you care about. That's great. Use that, okay? But don't let your ego stop you from improving, okay? Don't be afraid to lose temporarily to win in the long run, okay? So stay humble. Don't be afraid to lose. Try new things, all right? So that's tip 3 and my 10 tips to improve at jiu-jitsu. Thank you guys. Train safe. Os.
BJJ for breakfast.